One. Hey guys, it's Jason here with you, breaking down another week of college football. I know it's Tuesday. Wanted this video out on a Saturday, but hey, schedule conflict. We're talking about football, what happened in the week two. I'll be going around the big Power 5 schools and show you what talk to you about what I saw over the weekend. Let's start in the Pac-12. I already did a breakdown on Oregon, Portland State, 62-14. Oregon looks good, but we're not gonna really know what Oregon is till they play Stanford and get into conference schedule. Houston, Arizona. Houston beats them 45-18, and I tell you, Houston looks good, but Arizona looks bad. Regardless if they get Khalil Tate going, what he did last year, that defense is horrendous. They gave up a lot of yards to Houston. To be exact, they gave up 551 yards. Arizona put up yards too. They put up 500 yards, but they took out most of the starters. Once Arizona got close, they put them back in, and they really slowed down Arizona. I believe Kevin Sumlin will turn around Arizona, but you gotta believe, even if when Kevin Sumlin was at A&M, he didn't really had a good defense till he hired Chavis as DC. It's gonna take some time. I believe Arizona fans should have just hang tight. Speaking of another rebuild, that's gonna take some time. You saw it. Yeah. Hey, they put up a fight. They scored 4 against Oklahoma. And Oklahoma just runs away with a 49-21. It's harder to imagine when you lose the Heisman Trophy winner in Baker Mayfield for Oklahoma and just insert quarterback here and really has not missed a step with Kyle Murray at quarterback. And that's really impressive. If you look over the years and over the quarterback, Cam Newton from Auburn, Marcus Mariota from Oregon, Manziel from A&M, when they have lots of Heisman Trophy winners, the offense doesn't look the same a year or 2 years after. So it's gonna be interesting how Oklahoma looks throughout the year. Colorado, Nebraska, probably the best game involving a Pac-12 team in the afternoon slate. Nebraska sort of won this game up 28-27. I watched this game a little bit, and it just looked like Scuffles had a couple clock management issues down the stretch, and really cost them the game. Hats off to Montez from Colorado. They got their job done and got a victory, 33-28. Kind of reminded me of those Big 12 games between Nebraska and Colorado. I remember as a kid and the young adult watching those games. I think mostly was played on a Thanksgiving. I remember one year, especially the 01 year for Oregon, that they kind of got screwed from the BCS. But Colorado that year they really destroyed Nebraska. I think it was a 62-3 game. Everybody was talking about Colorado's rush game and whatnot, and it really set up a very good Fiesta Bowl. Oregon ran away with it, but hey, it is what it is. But Let's talk about Washington, North Dakota, real quick. 45-3. No home. Washington taking out frustration about the Auburn loss. North Dakota, you were just in the way. I heard from a friend that Jake Browning was limping during the game. Well, we'll see when they play Utah. Speaking of Utah, only a 17-assist game against Northern Iowa. Hey, you're looking ahead to Washington. I get it. You still win 2-0. Hats off to you. Oregon State, Southern Utah. Oregon State wins 48-25. I know they lost the running back Pierce to an elbow injury that's going to be out a couple weeks. But hey, when Oregon State has Blunt in as quarterback, they look really good. They might be a bowl team, alright? That's at the beginning of the year. You could look at the Oregon State game for whoever team it was. You got to chalk up and win. Now you can't really do that. You got to play your A game. There's no easy reaching the Pac-12. Cal BYU, 21-18. Cal. I really wanted holding my stock with Cal. Who is Cal? Because Cal beat North Carolina. Well, that's a Power 5. But North Carolina just lost to East Carolina. So, and they didn't lose to East Carolina. It was a multiple touchdown game. BYU just beat Arizona, but as of right now, Arizona's the worst looking Pac-12 team right now. Arizona State, Michigan State, the nightcap, the Pac-12 after dark. 16-13 was this ball game. Whew, good defense, ugly offense, ugly play. It just looked like Martin Wilkins from Arizona State could only throw a streak route that really got open. Arizona State just had the ball at the end and they kicked the field goal. That's what it was. No team really controlled the game. Michigan State had it reddish on the turnover. You really can't do that or whatnot. So, yeah, hats off to ASU. A feather in the cap to the Big 12. But we don't know who Michigan State is. So, that's going to be another wait and see how good is Michigan State and whatnot. Washington State took care of San Jose State, Oregon's next opponent, 31-0. Not really much to say during that game. San Jose State just lost. Big 12. Let's go to the Big 12. What we saw last week. West Virginia takes care of Youngstown State 52-17. Hey, West Virginia gets a somewhat a bye week this week because the game against North Carolina is canceled because of Hurricane Florence. But hey, West Virginia looks good. I said on a radio program last week, I don't think West Virginia loses till they play Oklahoma. So West Virginia looks good. But hey, we've seen this from West Virginia. They'll start off fast, and next thing you know, that they're only 7-5, battling for bowl or 8-4. So let's just wait on West Virginia. Beta got a win over Texas San Antonio, 37-20. Didn't really watch this game, but it's good for Beta. Probably one of the only losses. Oklahoma State beats South Alabama 55-13. They have a game against Boise State, which is going to be a very good game. It's a game that nobody's talking to. So, Um, so talking about, I think it's gonna probably a showstopper this weekend. Oklahoma State, Boise State. Um, we already talked about the Oklahoma UCLA game. Mississippi State gets a big win over Kansas State, 31-10. Hey, I believe that Mississippi State is a lot better team than it was with Dan Martin. I think Joe Moorhead is a fantastic offensive coach. You saw what he did in Penn State with Saquon Barkley. Mississippi State, do not sleep on them with the SEC. That the only bad part about that is then the rest with Alabama, LSU, Auburn, A&M, a very loaded SEC rest. So Texas gets the victory over Tulsa 21-20, 28-21. We talked about this with Utah looking ahead to Washington. I think Texas was doing the same thing with USC. Which USC lost to Stanford. We forgot to talk about that. And the USC just looked lost on offense. Without Sam Darnold, and this is a good team. It could be a long year for the men in Troy. Kansas beats Central Michigan, their first road game win since 2009. Okay, that's 11 years. And I think the streak was at 49. Very hats off to Kansas. Might be the only win till next year. But hey, they could probably surprise people sleeping this year. Beta, Texas. And those might be the games that Kansas might be looking at for the next win. Let's go to the Big Ten real quick. TCU beat SMU on a Friday night. The game was not even close. It was close at halftime. They blew them away. Let's talk about the Big Ten. Wisconsin 45-14 over New Mexico. This game was a game in the third quarter, but Jonathan Taylor took over. Wisconsin's always that year that there's always that team that you really don't know. You won't know till they face Michigan and Penn State or Ohio State. But hey, they always have a good offensive line. That's what they tip their hats off. Michigan took out their frustration against Western Michigan 49-3. I'm nowhere near buying my Michigan stock. Let's tuck away for another year. I think Michigan is what Michigan is. Could beat lower teams, can't beat good teams. Almost like what Oregon is right now, but we won't know. Duke winning to Northwestern 21-7. They got the victory. Northwestern gets their first loss. Really surprised. Eastern Michigan goes on the road to beat Purdue 20-19, and for the back-to-back weeks, a defensive penalty really cost them the ball game. And Purdue is sitting at 0-2, two games that they could have won, but they lost it in the fourth quarter. Ohio State Rutgers 52-3. We'll know a lot more about Ohio State versus TCU. Okay, Ryan Day, the interim head coach, they beat Oregon State Rutgers. Now they go to TCU. It's the games in the J Road, so in Arlington. But you're gonna know more about Ohio State after this weekend. I might have TCU winning that game. Iowa wins the Cyhawk Trophy versus Iowa 13-3. Very typical Iowa sticking, low scoring. Hey, hats off to Iowa. Maryland was down at halftime to Bowling Green, 14-10, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, it was 14-10 at halftime. Bowling Green made it a ball game, but Maryland scored 35 points in the second half, shutting out the Falcons, and Maryland gets the victory 45-14. Hey, Bowling Green is no slouch, okay? They were up against Oregon. It was a 10-0 ball game before Oregon took it over. They led against Maryland. So Bowling Green's no slouch. They'll probably make noise in the MAC. Indiana gets the 20-16 victory over Virginia. Illinois beats Western Illinois 34-14. Minnesota Fresno State 21-14. Fresno State coached by former Oregon offensive coordinator Jeff Tedford. Fresno State had an opportunity to tie this game late, but interception in the end zone, I believe it was fourth down. Minnesota really sealed that game. Penn State, it was 6-6 after 1/4, 7-6, and Pitt just ran away 51-6. And we already talked about Michigan State, Arizona State. How good is Michigan State? We won't know. Let's go to the SEC real quick before we get going. Let's start out with LSU beating Southeast Louisiana 3-1. No shock there. Louisiana State only scored. LSU only got 7 points in the second half. It's a small concern. I want to say it's big. Yes, looking forward to that Auburn game. So, yeah. So, Georgia, South Carolina, probably the biggest game in the SEC. A lot of people was drinking that South Carolina Kool-Aid, but Georgia just really, from the opening bell, really dominated an average South Carolina team, 41-17. I would have Georgia. Seeing what else happened in the SEC, really a clear path to Atlanta. If I was doing a poll, I would have Georgia number one. I think that Georgia, I would believe, has more, has a slightly better team, but I would imagine. I would say this: Georgia, Alabama. You could say 1A, 2A, 1A, but Georgia and Alabama looks like the class. Southern Illinois, Ole Miss, 76-41. You let Southern Illinois put up 41 against you. Hey, Ole Miss, good news. You play Alabama. You're gonna be on the prime time. Bad news. Alabama's going to kick the doors in, okay? Bottom line, that game's a 20-point favorite for Alabama. I would have taken the points if it was at 30. Okay, Ole Miss, you're going to have time. You're going to have difficulties scoring on Alabama, but who doesn't? So, it's going to be a long week for Ole Miss fans. Tennessee beats Eastern Tennessee 59-3. not really much to talk about this game. Hey, but you play Florida here in a couple weeks. Um, so it would be they have another game next week to get ready for Florida. Speaking of Florida, they lose 27-16 to Kentucky. Kentucky has a former Oregon quarterback, Taylor Wilson. Taylor Wilson, I believe, never played a snap for Oregon. He transferred out when Willie Taggart took the job. He went down to a JC, won a national title with, I think, Garden Junior College or whatnot. So, hats off to Kentucky. You knew it was coming. The streak, 30 games in a row. I'm 31. I've never seen Kentucky beat Florida, and I saw it. So good for them. Clemson A&M 28-26. Hey, A&M could have won this ball game. Should have won this ball game, but they didn't. A very controversial play. A&M was going down to score. They were down by 8, and a ball went out of the end zone. A fumble, which means that Clemson takes over, and they look at it at replay, and they didn't overturn it. So it is what it is. But A&M, they're not going to be an easy out for anybody. Auburn beats Alabama State 63-9 and tune up to Auburn LSU next week. Colorado State beat Arkansas 34-27, the eye opener of the SEC. And Vanderbilt beats Nevada 41-10. So let's go down the list. The last conference we will talk about is the ACC. When we talk about the ACC, let's talk about Willie Taggart. Willie Taggart, they're beating Stanford 36-26. Hey, look. Okay, it's Willie Taggart's first year, his second game at Florida State. He's 1-1. Okay, lost to Virginia Tech, but Florida State fans, you gotta realize you went 6-6 last year. Okay, you barely made a bowl. Okay, you have a quarterback coming off of an ACL. He looks timid right now. Okay, and that's no issue. Okay, you have a new defense. You have a new system in place. Okay, I believe Willie Taggart's the guy for the job just because Willie Taggart wants to be there. Willie Taggart wants to coach Florida State. He knows the expectations of Florida State, okay? He grew up in Florida, okay? He's gonna get Florida State back to where it belongs under Jimmy Ballard, okay? I know, I'm an Oregon fan. I laughed at it too, ha ha ha. But it's time to really take it down at serious. I'm happy with Cristobal, okay? I'm happy that Oregon's got Cristobal. He's the guy for the job. And I also believe Willie Taggart is the guy for the job. Florida State fans, UCLA fans, Arizona fans, that has first year head of coaches, slow down, okay? It's a new regime, okay? Yeah, Arizona went to a bowl last year, but UCLA, Florida State went to a bowl, but it's a new system, okay? I know Chip Kelly took over Oregon and really dominated Oregon. made Oregon. He went to the Rose Bowl in his first year, but Chip Kelly was the offensive coordinator at Oregon before he took the head coaching job. He was already here. Um, I believe Chip Kelly will turn around at UCLA. I believe Rudy Tiger. And the Texas fans, slow your roll with Tom Herman. Okay, it's been 15 games. Okay, if you truly believe that he's the guy, slow down, be patient. Okay, hey, look at it. Nick Saban lost to Louisiana Monroe his first year. Okay, at 5 national titles later, no one's talking about that. So just slow your roll. Okay, Louisville 31-7 over Indiana State. I thought Indiana State only played basketball, but they played football too. Miami took out frustrations against Savannah State. Savannah State 77-0. North Carolina, really? 41-19 over East Carolina? Wow. I did not see that one coming. We talked about Cal earlier. Who's Cal? Okay? They beat North Carolina. Well, they got destroyed against East Carolina. So you can't really tip your hat with that win. Virginia Tech beat William and Marymount 62-17. Holy Cross beats Boston College 62-14. And NC State beats Georgia 41-7. So those are your scores. South Florida beat Georgia Tech 49-28. So those are your notable scores. I'll have a duck preview up for you guys tomorrow. Breaking down at San Jose State and Oregon. I have a week 3 preview for you guys on Thursday, and it's another college football weekend. Best time of the year. If you guys like this video, please put a thumbs up. If you're passing through, subscribe. Leave a comment. Who's your team? What did you thought about what I said? Whatnot. And I hope you guys are having a great day, because I am too. And have a great day. Have a great Tuesday. And once again, go Ducks. And my name's Jason. And have a great day.